very nice feeling when you get more for less. And in a price-sensitive country like ours, this statement seemed to make even more sense. Now Triumph Motorcycles very well understands this emotion, and which is why they launched the Street Triple R at a price that was over 30,000 rupees lower than the outgoing Street Triple S that used to be the entry-level model in the company's Street Triple lineup. Moreover, this particular model that you see right here also costs over 2 lakh rupees lower than the range-topping Street Triple RS. Now, while the Street Triple R does make a lot of sense on paper, does it replicate the same feeling on the road? Let's find out. But before going ahead with this video, please subscribe to our Express Drive's official YouTube channel and also click that little bell to stay notified. Now, one of the best things that Triumph Motorcycles have done with the Street Triple R is the fact that they have tried to make this motorcycle look like its range-topping variant, better known as the Street Triple RS. So as you can see up front, you get the same all LED bug-eyed headlamp section. Twin headlamps are there, and these look exactly the same as the ones on the Street Triple RS. Moreover, talking of the paint scheme, if you look, this bike actually looks quite similar to the Street Triple RS because it gets quite similar paint scheme just as the RS variant. Now coming to the differences, unlike the RS version, the Street Triple R gets red colored side panels, and also it misses out on a belly pan unlike the RS. Now as a cost cutting measure, the Street Triple R gets a semi-digital LCD display unlike the fancy looking fully colored TFT screen on the RS. Well, this according to us isn't a very bad thing, as the instrument cluster shows all the necessary info and gets the signature RPM shift lights that literally light up like a Christmas tree once you proceed towards the red line. And for this reason, we are quite sure that many customers would still love this rather old school setup. The only thing that we wish here is that the clutch cable could have been routed in a better way, as it might obstruct the vision of shorter riders whenever they wish to see the instrument cluster. The overall attention to detail and the fit and finish are simply top notch and completely in sync with what you would expect from a 10 lakh rupee motorcycle. Now powering the Street Triple R is the same 765cc 3-cylinder liquid-cooled engine that powers the entire Street Triple range. The engine on the Street Triple R is good for producing 116 HP of power along with 79 Nm of torque. Now comparing these numbers with the Street Triple S and the Street Triple RS, well, the numbers on the Street Triple R are 5 HP and 6 Nm more than the old Street Triple S, and in comparison to the Street Triple RS, the Street Triple R makes 5 HP less while the torque remains the same. Transmission is a 6-speed unit. The engine on the Street Triple R starts with zeal at 2500 RPM, after which it settles down to close to 1500 RPM at idle. Once you cross the 2500 to 3000 RPM mark, the engine starts to come into its element, but it has to be noted that it doesn't feel lightning quick at the lower revs. If you live in a city like Delhi or Bombay or any other crowded city, well, chances are that you'll not be able to cross 4 to 4,500 RPM on this motorcycle. And that's kind of really unfortunate because of the fact that the real animal unleashes only after 6,000 RPM. The biggest highlight of this engine that as you proceed towards its 12,000 RPM red line, the Street Triple R gets more and more enjoyable. And at that speed, the bike sings along in pure melody. The best soundtrack of the motorcycle is heard as you proceed
close to the rev limiter. On the city roads, honestly, you wouldn't find much difference between the R and the RS, and it is only on wide open roads that you might feel that the R is slightly weaker in the top end compared to the RS. But that hardly makes much of a difference, as it is not every day that you will ride this bike close to its red line. All in all, the best part here is the fact that the engine on the Street Triple R feels more like the one on the RS and not like the S. Moreover, what's worth mentioning here is the fact that the Street Triple R also gets a bi-directional quick shifter that works like a charm whenever you are in the mood for those clutchless gear shifts. Another thing that I really like about this engine is that it's very tractable, all thanks to which the bike feels friendly in the city and you don't need to change gears every now and then. In fact, you can do speeds of as low as 20 km/h in 6th gear and the bike won't mind at all.
Now talking about the riding position of the Triumph Street Triple R, the foot pegs on this one are quite rear set, and hence you get a quite sporty riding position. The handlebar is pretty wide, but the riding position is not too committed, thanks to which you can do even long distances on this motorcycle without any complaints. Talking of the seat, the rider's seat is quite well padded, well cushioned, and hence it gives a decent amount of comfort to the rider. And talking of the seat height, well, the standard seat height on the Street Triple R is 825 millimeters, but if you are a short rider, no need to worry, as Triumph is also offering a low seat version that has a seat height of 780 millimeters, and this comes as an optional accessory.
Now, thanks to one of the lightest curb weights and a compact wheelbase, the Triumph Street Triple R is hands down one of the best handling motorcycles in its class. The motorcycle feels quite flickable and manageable in city traffic, and hence can be ridden quite easily even by amateur riders. Now, one of the things that I learned about the Street Triple R is while leaning the bike around corners. If you are riding the Street Triple R for the very first time, you might need to be a bit cautious initially, as you need to work a bit on the handlebar to get the best results, and some counter steering seems the only way out. Now, to put it into simple words, you might feel in the beginning that the response from the handlebar isn't at par with the input provided, but it is just a matter of time before you get used to this behavior of the R. Now, don't get me wrong here, once you get over this by riding the bike around a few corners, the R comes across as a gem of a motorcycle that really shines on those serpentine roads. Moreover, all that confidence is taken to the next level with the excellent grip from the Pirelli Diablo Rosso 3 tires that offer an exceptional grip even on wet roads. The fully adjustable suspension on the Street Triple R is set on a stiffer side, and hence the ride feels a bit firmer compared to the outgoing lower spec Street Triple S. Despite this, the bike handles broken roads quite well, and it is only seriously broken patches on which you need to be a bit careful. The Street Triple R has a 160 mm ground clearance, and while this is enough for our Indian roads, the bike only tends to scrape its belly over tall speed breakers, and this happens only when you have a pillion. The Street Triple R doesn't have a short turning radius, and for this reason, you also need to be a bit careful while taking a U-turn. The Brembos do a brilliant job of bringing the bike to a halt, and these are a major improvement over the Nissans on the Street Triple S. Yes, the setup isn't as sharp as the RS, but we don't think anyone will have complaints with these brakes.
The Triumph Street Triple R is one of the most manageable yet fun street naked middleweights in the sub 10 lakh rupee price bracket. So if you are on the lookout for a sweet motorcycle that can turn into a hooligan whenever you want it to, then well, this bike is certainly one option that you shouldn't miss considering. The Street Triple R is blistering fast, it's friendly, it's loaded with features up to the brim, it's a massive improvement over the old Street Triple S, and it gives you a near Street Triple RS-like experience which costs over 2 lakh rupees more. While how this middleweight brute takes on its Japanese and Austrian rivals is a story for another day, well, the Street Triple R is sure one bike that has got what all it takes to keep you happy and entertained on an everyday basis. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching.